Hello students, welcome back to Mr. Laver's Computing Classroom. Okay, so what our task for today is to convert a bitmap image into a vector drawing. And the reason why we might do that is because we may want to enlarge this picture, and you can't enlarge pictures very well when they're bitmaps made of pixels. It's really got to be a vector image which you can resize, enlarge or shrink, or just make it any size you like, and you're still going to maintain the quality. That's one of the great things about vector images. Now the other thing is, another reason why you might be using a vector, or might be needing a vector image, is because you might be using a computer controlled machine, something like a laser cutter or a plasma cutter, where you're trying to cut out a pattern. Or another one is a sewing machine, electronic sewing machine, where you may be wanting to sew a pattern onto a garment. And for all of those, what you're going to need is a vector image. But you may start with a bitmap type picture, and then you need to convert it to a vector image. So I'm going to show you how to do that. First of all, what we need is a very simple bitmap picture, and I'm going to get you guys to follow along and do what I'm doing. I'm just going to open up Paint and draw a very simple picture. So we'll get ourselves a circle. This picture is just going to be it's just going to be a smiley face. Okay. So we've got our smiley face, we're going to have an eye. Now the eyes are about halfway up ahead, so we'll put it about there, and then we need to have an eyeball in the center. Okay, and I'll fill that in, make it black, and we'll give our little smiley face and what are we going to do? I'll give him an eyebrow. I think that's okay. Maybe a bit more into there. Okay, there we go. Now, you guys know how to do all of this, so I'm not explaining it very well, and I'm going quite fast. So if you want to stop the video, you may need to stop the video and come back and just finish off your smiley face. But all we need is something very much like that. We'll give him a nice smile. That one didn't work. Try again. Oh dear. Hold Shift key down, that's right. Forgot about that. There we go. Okay, we'll try and center that up, I think, hopefully. Okay, now, there's our smiley face, but at this stage, you just need to be aware of what we're doing. Now, I want you to imagine that what we're going to be doing is we're going to be putting this into a laser cutter, and we're going to be cutting out this smiley face out of, say, a piece of wood. And the laser cutter is going to come all the way around the outside, and it's going to leave this nice circle in there, and that's going to work well. And it's going to cut these lines out, and it's just going to leave lines, and that's going to work well. And same with the face there. But what is not going to work well here is we've got a problem with the eyes here. Now if we cut out around this, all the way around the circle here, this whole inside piece is just going to fall out, and there's no point in having the little eyeballs in the center, because they'll be just disappeared. They will have just disappeared. So what we need to do is we need to be able to keep this piece of material in here, and we need to stop this black line here going all the way around. So that's very simple to do. So I'll grab a brush and we need it to be white colour, and I'm just going to make the brush a little bit larger, and I'm just going to paint that there and that there out, and what that's going to do is that's going to maintain that piece of material all the way through there now. Okay, and I'll do the same with the other eye and the same with the other eye. So that was a potential problem that we'd fixed up then. Okay, and I hope you understand that, because you may well at some stage get a chance to use one of these machines, and this is the sort of thing you're going to need to be aware of. Right, so that's all we need to do. Now let's just select our picture and we'll copy it, and then we're going to open up Inkscape. So Inkscape takes a couple of moments to open. There we go, and we're going to paste our picture in here. Now that's all we really need to do at the moment. Now we're going to I'll just bring this down here. Now I do have a few problems with this software here. The screen recording software affects Inkscape, so I have a few problems doing things, and I can't bring that down for the moment. Hopefully I can later. Okay, so I've got my image up here. The image is selected. You can see it selected around here, and it's a very quick and simple process to convert this to a vector image. All we do is we go Path, we go Trace Bitmap, and when we're tracing the bitmap, what is actually happening is Inkscape is looking at the different colours, and so it's looking at the edges according to the colours. And each pixel is a different colour. So we need to go edge detection, and then if you make a few well, first of all we need to understand what these options are. So speckles. Okay, so if I hover over this, the hint is not coming up, but I would recommend putting this up quite a bit. I'm going to put it up to 20, and that's going to stop any small pieces of a few pixels at a time becoming a vector image. We're not going to have problems with that because this one is very clearly black and white, but if you were using an image with several different colours and little pieces around it, you would end up with a whole lot of little paths that would cause you problems. So we'll increase that a bit, and then I'm also going to, this one here, it reduces the number of nodes, and I'm going to increase that to 3, and hopefully that will work well. So now all we do is we go OK, and almost instantly the image has been converted to a vector image. Now it's not finished yet because we've still got some problems, and you can see, you may be able to see here that around the outside we've actually got 2 lines around the outside and not a single line. So we're going to have to fix that, and I'll just go OK. Oops, let's get rid of that. Now hopefully now, yes, we can drag this down. Okay, I'll drag it right to the bottom. Now here's our image, here's the vector path, which we can't see at the moment because it's behind the image. So let's just hide the image. In fact, what we might do is let's delete this image because we no longer need it, and we're just left with that vector path there. So if I select that, we're going to zoom in a bit. So zoom in, you can probably do it with your wheel mouse and control key. I don't think I can do that because my program is playing up. Okay, so this is looking good. It's actually looking very good. There's very little that we need to fix on this. All we've got is this double outside line. And I'm going to show you how to fix that. First of all, what I'll get you to do is you need your fill to... No, wait a second. First of all, we'll click on the nodes button, and now you can see the nodes. Now, if you've got a lot of nodes around here, you may have too many. And what you want to do then is go Path, Simplify. Okay? And you can see that we've got rid of some nodes, and that's just made it a little bit simpler. Now, the next thing is to get rid of the colour on the fill. So if I click that, let me see, hopefully that's clicked. I might just, yes, here we go. So here's our fill, and I've gone no paint there. Our stroke, which is our line, actually I'm going to come back to that. I'm going to come back to that for a reason. I want to show you why. Okay, so what we need to do at this stage, and you can see actually that once we have got rid of that, I'm going to zoom in further. Once we got rid of that fill, it's not actually 2 lines here, it's 4 lines. And so we need to delete 3 of these. And the way to do that is, first of all, that part there, we need to break it apart. So we go Path, Break Apart, and that's produced a whole lot of paths, okay, which can cause problems, but it's the only way that we can do it. Okay, now the next thing that's very important is that the stroke, we've got rid of the colour on the fill down here. The stroke here, which is your line, that needs to have some colour. So at the moment it's probably there. We need to click it there, and that's given us some colour. Now that's very important, otherwise when you... I'm going to get rid of this again. At the moment we've got all the lines selected. When we click on just one line, all the others will disappear unless you've got that stroke coloured. Now the other thing that you might have to do is you may have to turn this one here on. I've got it on at the moment. Make sure that's on. If it's off, then you're going to lose your red lines. It's possibly not that important, but we'll leave it on anyway. Okay, now all we need to do is select on one path and see which one that is. And that is the outside one, and that's the one I want to keep. I want to delete that one there, so click on that, push the delete key, and that one disappears. And I'm going to delete that other one, and once again, okay, and do that. Now we don't need 2 lines around the eyeballs, we only want 1. And you'll probably want to delete the inside one, but once again I'm having problems with this software and the screen recording software. There we go, we've got it. So we're going to delete that one, and we've got that one there, delete that one, and pretty much all these inside ones you guys want to delete. I can't do it, so I'm going to delete the outside one there, and I may have trouble all the way around here. Yes, but you try to delete the inside one. You should be able to select it. Sometimes you have to click twice, but for me it's not working at all. And this one here, so you just want one indicating line. There we go. Okay, so there's our cutout. Okay, so that's good, you guys. So now we can cut out this with a laser cutter or a plasma cutter, and it's got one line to cut around. Your eyebrows are going to be cut, your eyeball will be cut, and in actual fact these could just be a single line rather than a circle, a closed path that's called. But I'm going to leave that. If you want to make any changes, you can simply select a path. These nodes, you guys know how to change the nodes. You can change those if you want. Right, so all we need to do now is I need to show you how to save this, and it's not all of that, it's not that straightforward, but to start with it will be. So we're just going to go save, and we'll save it in our documents. We're going to save it as an SVG file, which is Inkscape. Now we do that so that if we want to open it up again, we can open it up with Inkscape. Okay, so I'm just going to call it Smiley and save, and there was another one but we've replaced that. Now that's good, but it's no good if you're transferring to a laser cutter or a plasma cutter or any other machine that you may want to be cutting this out with or working with this, because those machines are not going to recognize SVG files. What you need to do is we need to save it. We need to go save as. This time drop this down and choose this one of these. We'll choose the R14 because that's the later version, but choose a DXF file. Now DXF stands for Drawing Exchange File, and what that is it's a standard format that many programs will understand, and whatever program you're importing this into, it will understand a DXF file. So that's the one that you need to transfer it to your machine with. So we're going to go save, and yes, I think we'll just leave that. That will be good, and we're going to replace it. Was already one there, and that's it. Okay, so there we go. We've saved from a bitmap picture to a vector drawing picture. I'll just remind you as to what we did. We went path, we went trace bitmap, we made sure that we chose the edge detection. There are some options there that really you need to read what it says. Speckles up to this many pixels will be suppressed, and just play around with those. But anyway, the main thing is edge detection, and then we just go okay. Once we've done that, then you can break apart your path, and that allows you to have lots of different paths, and you're able to work on each path. The other thing that is very useful is the simplify, and that will reduce the number of nodes that you have. Okay, so there we go, you guys. That's the lesson for today. Can you please hand in your DXF file, and it should be looking very similar to what I've done, and we'll see you guys in the next lesson.